Oh, Midway is great in sensor round or sensurMos. What? That's a good reaction. Oh, what? Oh, that's a good bit. Oh, wow. Hang on. I mean, that sounds almost, wow. What I have to do is give a little tweak on the extra channels, which are floor based. It's almost like, wow, there's a nice, rather than just there sort of thing, if you know what I mean. It's kind of there and there. Let's go back. Let's mute height 1 and height number 3. Nothing on height number 2 there. Oh, a little bit now. There's a little bit there on height number 2. And then did you hear that? That bugs me when I hear that sort of thing in an atmosphere mix. Hear the music? And then suddenly pulls out like, what's going on? Is this something to do with these panning object? You know, it's back on again. What's going on? What's going on? For a moment I thought I was pressing the repeat play or whatever. That's doing my head in that. I don't like sound mix. You hear that? The way the sound changes and all this object moving. You know, I mean, a bed is what you sleep on, right? And then, well, this here might be an object, you know, and it's moving around, and it always does these cliches, you know. But you see a lot of this, yeah. And you should have a lot of proper discrete below surround. Otherwise, what's the point of this 3D sort of sound field, for crying out loud, you know? Immersive and this and yeah, right. And if he's going underwater there, or the camera's going underwater, or the camera's underwater, right, you'd be hearing water kind of like, or whatever. It's very hard for me to remember what it sounds like underwater with relation to the surface under several feet. But I'm pretty familiar with, you know, the pressure. You know, it will feel like 20 hertz pressing against your ears. Well, a little bit more than that, I think, because yeah, it would be quite a bit of pressure. But I don't think the sound mixers or whatever put enough of that detail in, you know, and they're trying to sell this immersiveness, storytelling, because you know, even though it's a very brief few seconds, you know, you want it to be immersive, and all these cliches there where you see typically where the camera is like there between the surface and the water, and it's doing that. Oh, those are quite a lot of cliches in films that you see. Let's go back. I mean, because you should be you know, something like that. You know, you should get a lot of pressure, You know, it's LFE active. It goes underwater. A bit of LFE, and then Yeah, you know, it's got to be the right pressure, you know, in the room. Because if you were to fill the room up with water, it's going to be uniform. No if, no but. Okay, you do that with sub bass and try and do it with sound waves. It's a totally different thing. And to try and get all those frequencies totally uniform around the room is not easy. It's not impossible. It's just, well, it just wouldn't have the same sensation as water, I don't think, or the pressure on the ear and feeling it against the body. Besides feeling wet, and of course they're up there, right? So you would have below surround because you're in the sky, aren't you? Yeah. If you're up on the ladder, they're coming down again in a second. sensurMos. That's just on play my height number 2 there. Height 1 and height number 3 are on mute. Because the height 1, 2 and 3 in this movie are pretty active. Unlike some rubbish film like Ad Astra. Ugh, overrated movie, what a load of rubbish. And it got nominated for Skywalker sound. Are you kidding me? That film was a load of rubbish. Well, how come this didn't get nominated, huh? How come this didn't get nominated for sound editing? The sound editing's good on it and the sound mixing's good on it. How come this didn't get one, yeah? Bloody Oscars. Wow. Let's put height 1 and 3 on. Wow, it's moving from front back. Oh, wow. Brilliant. Even though they're up there, and I've got the other ones, and it sounds like, wow, that's like going into, that's pretty hairy. That's hairy. Especially when all the other channels, the 5-screen are running and the everything else. It's hairy, that is hairy. Hair in all those, oh, that's scary. Thinking, crikey, you managed to dodge this one, you dodged that, and oh, that is hairy. Crikey, you know you're going to get hit and you just keep going and you keep going. Oh, that's scary. Wow. There's a lot of sound effects going on, and there's also quite a lot of familiar sound effects that I can hear that I've heard in other movies. Because you'd have new sound effects recording and all this blah blah blah, new production, all this blah blah blah. I think they must have, I don't know how they divided the budget up for this film, because it was, what, 100 million? I don't know if they divide that 50-50, so 50 goes towards picture image, to everything you see on the visual, and then fit another 50 and then the other 50 for sound. But I think they should do it like that, 50-50 of the budget, because that's what George Lucas says, isn't it? You know, it's 50-50, isn't it? 50% picture, 50% sound. And the budget should be divided that way. 50% goes to the sound and 50% goes to the image, which is makeup, production, acting, blah, 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 CGI, and that's it. You know, stunts and all that, and, you know, everything on, and then 50% on the sound. And then maybe they get a better movie. Because it looks like quite a lot's been spent on the CGI. which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know why the film got sort of like, you know, I thought the CGI looked pretty good when I saw it in the trailers, and, you know, it looks pretty good in the film. It's like I say, I mean, a lot of these aircraft don't exist anymore. They're just, some of them are just museum pieces. Yeah, that bullet bullet firing or whatever. I can't think what film I might have heard it in, and a lot of high-pitched ones like. Wow, still brilliant. Oh my goodness, Mick, that was awesome. That flew right out. That's like having a drone aeroplane flying in the room. Oh wow, that's cool. They really move well over the nine channels. I can't really sit back here because I got all these JBLs ready to go up on the ceiling on Monday. Can I just sit in the back row here? That gives me a flashback to what was it? Terminator Dark Fate, where the aeroplane helicopter scene, where the helicopter's coming along. He's found us, and it comes along the height 1, and then moves into height 2, height 3, pretty fast, and then goes over, I think, over onto height, on the right side, height rear, right. Yeah. Oh wow. I think there's just going to be a lot of typical cliche sound effects now with, you know, sort of this, because I know I've heard quite enough of it now, and I know where it can go and where it can't go. But what they really should have added to Atmos is a true, proper, discrete below surround, because I can only matrix and only hope some signals might get steered, you know, and then the matrix signal will say, oh right, this signal seems like it's steering in this direction onto the antiphase, whether it be on the other ones or on the side surrounds, where I've got another matrix decoder to take some sound, and it would, rather than going over on left and right side surround, it would go underneath the seat, and it pretty good. Don't think any cinema's got that. Oh, and then someone will say, yeah, but that's not what the director intended. Yeah, but maybe it should be, but that's not what Dolby Labs intended. Yeah, right. If they were thinking, they would have had, you know, an edge over Oro, totally, but they haven't. They haven't really got an edge over Oro or Limax or DDSX, because they're all doing the same copycat things. Overhead speakers, for crying out loud. Haven't they ever heard sound pass underneath them before? Blimey. But that, you know, visually on screen, because you can see the angle, but when you see things that go that way, this direction, that should go underneath. But that's a kind of let's have a look. I can play it over and over and over. Yeah, I just paused it there where I'm just seeing just a little bit of the airplane, and then unpaused it, and then yeah. Wow, look at that. Holy damn. I tell you, that's scary. That's tense. That's tense. Because they're happening in different positions. Wow. I mean, Midway versus Midway 76 sensurround. Midway Atmos versus Midway sensurround. This one wins. this one wins. All right. So that looks a bit kind of unphotorealistic when the ship was blowing up. But still, I mean, wow. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure the computer technology and the artists and all that, I'm sure that computer technology was state of the art compared to my computer. That's still good. That's still good, how everything, all the elements are put together to create this, wow. Because other things like water, ocean, that's a very difficult element. I don't know if I suppose I'd have to listen to the audio commentary, see how all this was done. Maybe Roman Lemrich explains. Maybe read it in Cinefex. How everything, because I wouldn't be surprised this would be in a Cinefex. So how come he wasn't hearing any overhead there? Because he was reacting and looking upward. So how come there was nothing going on there? What are the sound mixers falling asleep? Because if he's looking up and there's no sound going on overhead, what are the sound mixers falling asleep? Come on. You've got to keep on your toes with all this blooming marketing, immersive storytelling, bloody hell. And it sounds like I think the sound mixers there have fallen asleep. Well, they're getting bored of the movie. Yeah. There's all this atmosphere still going on and bloody aeroplanes overhead, even though visually there, that's up on screen. But that point of view there, that's like suggests that should be like in the previous scene earlier on. So I wonder if the sound mixers, listen to the playback of just the height surrounds on their own. After they've done all the mixing, all this temping and all the stems and all the objects and the bed and the bunk bed or whatever they're using, for crying out loud. Don't they ever listen to the overhead surrounds to think, because how are you going to map sound? Continuity and the timing and switching from different angles and such. It's something that we don't hear in real life. We don't hear all this